Hello, welcome. My name's Louis T. Condrick. Welcome to the P's Plants, Poetry, People and Places, and Prayer. First thing we're going to talk about today is a very common plant known as the Pothos plant, as you can see. Very lustrous green leaves, grows easily, could grow in medium light, not too much highlight because it will burn the leaf sometimes. You'll see little black spots getting the leaf, and that's actually burns from the sun. These plants grow under trees in the tropical rainforest. Uh, they're very common out in the rainforest. These plants have areoles off their roots, which come off the bottom. They stick to the tree bark and branches, and they grow out that way. Now, they could flower in a tropical rainforest, but not in a house. You'll never see these flower in a house. But they are a very common plant in most houses. They do filter the air, probably one of the best, just below a spider plant, but they do filter the air very well. The botanical name of the plant is Scindapsus. Scindapsus, and Scindapsus. This plant comes in different forms. It comes bright green like this. It also comes variegated, which is known as marble queen. It also becomes lemon lime, which is known as neon. Lemon lime, I do actually think is very pretty. Marble queen's pretty too. Very bright white and green plant. Uh, Marble queen's just a little bit harder to grow, but it's still a pretty easy plant to grow considering all plants. These plants grow well up stakes, up trellis in a house. Um, you could mist these plants to keep them clean, keep the leaves clean. I mist these plants at least once every 7 to 10 days when I water them. They have shiny leaves. You want to keep the leaves clean to keep insects off, especially mealybug. Mealybug's a very common insect on a plant like this. It's a little white insect. It leaves little like cotton balls on a plant. It attacks all the new growth. Now, these plants are very good for filtering the air. When you clean your house with sprays, those sprays don't disappear. They go into the air as gas form. These plants will absorb those types of sprays and uh, place them inside the leaf structure of their plants. There are very many plants do filter the air, and this is one of the better ones. It's a very good kitchen plant. You The soil should be kept with good drainage and use perlite for drainage. And perlite actually has nitrogen in it too, so it actually feeds the plant too. If you read the back of a bag of perlite, you'll see that. You can water these plants every 7 to 10 days. Remember, the lower the light, the less plant absorbs in water. Plants need sunlight really to absorb water. Pothos or Scindapsus makes a good companion plant to both palms, dracaenas, philodendrons, many plants, Thai plants, even plants like fiddle leaf fig and things like that. Many tropical plants. These are very good combination plant. Do not keep in real cold or real hot. You want to keep room temperature, and This is one of the plants I would suggest to people to start off with if they want to grow plants in their house. This plant will be easy to grow. You'll be able to maintain it, be successful. You won't uh, feel guilty if the plant dies or something, because this plant is very hardy. You probably could drive over this plant and repot it, and it'll probably grow. Uh, so this is the plant I would suggest for people to go out and purchase first. Then you could go on to other plants from there, flowering plants and things like that. Just try to grow a leafy green plant to begin with. Okay, now we're going to go into the second part of my program called poetry. The poem I'm going to read to you today is called The Demise of Detroit. Beautiful Detroit has come to an end. No politician or person has become a friend. Homes burnt, gutted, and torn apart. People take fixtures and whatever they can cart. You see, many destroyed homes are made of brick. They're still standing because they are so thick. The auto industry was taken away. It happened when President Obama had his say. The poor people lost their livelihood. Many moved out if they could. You see, Pontiac and Oldsmobile have seen their last day. It wasn't in the cards for them to play. One day we will all admit to the damage done. The Italians getting Chrysler, they had won. I always thought whatever went through his mind, the poor people of Detroit, he had to see. He wasn't blind. This leads me right into my third part of my program. It's about people. We'll talk about people today and a little bit about places, but a lot about people. People should not live outside in the streets, in tents, all right? This is a sin. Whether you believe in God or not, it's a sin. And God believes in you, by the way, whether you believe in him or not. They don't need clean needles. They need a chance to live a clean environment and a clean life. Help them with their drug abuse. We need to help people clean up their lives, not destroy it. It's not only right thing to do, it's what God would want us to do. Yes, there's a God. It's pretty simple just to look at the whole universe with planets being round and circling a star. They're not square and rectangle and floating anywhere. Everything's mathematics. Gravitational pulls are all mathematics. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out about God. People in San Francisco, Oakland, Florida, even Alaska, I've seen people living on the streets. They don't need needles. It's not right to ignore people. They're human beings. Whatever happened to what Christ said about love your neighbor? We all forgot that. Politicians make a huge amount of money and benefits, and they should give some of that money back to the poor. We need to help the poor. We have abandoned buildings everywhere. Why are we not gutting them, refurbishing them, and supplying human living conditions to these people? Ones with a shower and a kitchen, even a television, social workers who have been trained to relate to people, to help them keep them off drugs and alcohol. This is where they do need social workers, not the police to lock them up, but people to help them clean them up and get their lives going. Then if they commit crimes, then they do go to jail. But if they don't and they move forward, that's good. If we could take 50% of the people and save them, we're doing a good job. course, 70-80% would be much better, but 50%, let's start with that. We need normal people. We need to calm people, and we need just to relate to these people and see what they're going through every day. Some people are mad and angry, but you ask yourself, why are people angry and mad? People go through different things every day. Everybody's that way. Everybody has a bad day. There's nobody has a perfect day. There's nobody that doesn't have no pain. There's nobody that doesn't have no problems. We all wake up with it every day. Pain and problems. At the end of my talk here is prayer. Good Lord, help us straighten up as a society. Give us wisdom and strength. Help us to care for the earth, people, and living creatures. Amen. Thank you, and God bless.